12 and a half, get you a quarterback. I got them shits flying like spirals. I like my truth uncensored.
Much going back to jail. Also, we're going to talk about 50 Cent reaction to Lord Jamar, you know, when Lord Jamar went in on Eminem. But earlier today, this afternoon, NBA Youngboy's attorney, you know, pretty much told us that NBA Youngboy was taken into custody because of a social media post, you know, because he was on probation. And the easiest way to break it down is that when you're on probation, it's not about you doing the crime. You can't be affiliated. So that shooting that happened in Miami, you know, the other day, it was a video that came out that showed him tending to his, I think it's his girl or something like that. They seen that video as proof of him being involved with that, as well as news reports coming out that said that was between his entourage and somebody else's entourage. I mean, this was what it was. You know what I mean? That came out. So they're holding him. He'll be in there for at least 30 days. People, anybody who's been on probation, you get violated, you gotta do a certain amount. You know, you can come out like some guys get 160, 180. So you might get a 365 bid you got to do. So right now, 30 days for him. But it's crazy because they also said that he wouldn't be charged for this at all. But on the other end, because he was involved with it, now he's back in jail right now. You see the mugshot there. The people who see this later. What do you think about NBA Youngboy, man, back in jail, man?
What I think about, well, when you hear social media, you automatically want to go, damn, he's stupid. Why did he have his phone out? But it wasn't him. It was like you kind of made me aware of. It was just bystanders out here looking at the situation. Him attending to his girlfriend who took a bullet for him. I mean, not intentionally, but took a bullet for him, and in a situation that got very real, very serious. And now because of a probation violation, he's going to be sitting back in jail. It's energy is what I think about it. We talked about him often on here. We always start with him being very talented, out of Louisiana, one of the young boys and one of the young crop of young rappers that's telling a story and really could do this thing for real, for the younger, the youth, for the people that listen to that kind of genre of sound. And just time after time after time after time, all you hear is negative, 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 negative. He jumps on his live. It's defense. It's negative. It's negative. And that comes with it. I mean, when you have that kind of spirit and that kind of energy, you bring on negative attention. And I'm not wishing on anything. You know what I mean? But
would you give him an excuse though? Because a lot of times, you know, talking about Kodak Black, and they're in the same age range. I'm not NBA Young might be a little bit younger if I'm not mistaken. Probably. You know what I mean? Do you give him that same excuse that you give somebody like Kodak and say, well, he's just young. I expect this from this guy. He's a young man. Yeah,
I do. But what I'm a lot more fearful of from NBA Youngboy than I am Kodak Black is that even though Kodak Black is doing a lot of self-inflicted things to put himself in situations, you see NBA Youngboy's energy bringing on other elements of negativity that could potentially get this young brother somewhere way more negative in jail. And that's what I don't want to see happen. So when I speak on NBA Youngboy, and you may hear me maybe not put my arm around him like I would a Kodak Black, even though I get backlash for that because he's 21 years old. And I remember being 21 as much as you were a man and all this shit and being stupid and wishing somebody would have kind of schooled me. So that's what I do.
But when you was 21 though, SamAnt, you wasn't going in there.
I had my dad.
You know what I'm saying? You wasn't doing what some of these guys, you know what I mean, did. So it's not always, it can be, because we all done some things in our 20s like, man, we would never do now. But it comes a point where you got to be responsible for your actions. You know what I mean? And if you see a pattern, you know, but there's a trail where, you know, people starting to get shot, people going to jail. Like you said, it's the energy that's starting to come back. So just want to change that up, you know what I'm saying, and get out of that environment, because it can only end a few ways, you know what I mean, with that type of, putting that type of energy out like that. But, you know, again, we always want to see the best, you know, for these young dudes. I mean, young black entrepreneur doing his thing, came out the hood and whatnot, traveling the world, he's famous, but at what cost? It's not worth your life. It's not worth probation violations for nutty shit like that. You gotta, at some point, put the head on your shoulder and say, okay, I'm a businessman, I'm a corporation, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm gonna get this bread and do what I gotta do, take care of my family, extend it. We can't be going to jail. Can't be getting in shootouts. Not, I mean, shit can happen. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It ain't like he went and was looking for it, whatever. You know, obviously they started dumping on him. Supposedly returned fire, whatever. However the story went, we wasn't there. But, you know, it's just a point where we know those bullets don't got no names on. His girl got hit. It could have been him. We could be here talking about you know, this dude had this happen to this person. So yeah, niggas gotta be careful, man. Be careful.
I often when I facts when we talk about these people, when we talk about the celebrities, whoever we talk about, I like to put myself in their shoes, even kind of looking and reflecting back after. And like I said, looking back at being 19 years old, 15, whatever, having all of this fame in this generation with everybody at their fingertips able to do what they want. And we see grown men and women responding weird when it comes to people tapping their phones on them. Yeah, 8:30. When it comes to them on social media. So you can only imagine what the young kids are going to do. And to do that and not know what kind of guidance they had around him, what kind of father, what kind of mother, what kind of home upbringing. We don't know once success came, what kind of people were in their pockets, what the trust is like. I think that they just need to have a better wall of security in gaming them in how to move and how to react. I really feel like if somebody was in an NBA Youngboys corner, in a Kodak Black's corner, and all these other young rappers that we see out here promoting the lean and jumping around and doing all this, mainly reflected and influenced by the generation before, which is ours. So we got to take blame for that.
Yeah.
But
that's real.
If we just had somebody to put their arm around them and just check them sometimes and let them know how to properly move. I mean, this is a very, very powerful, influential generation. Imagine what the power that they can have and what they can do.
Yeah. And that's all we, talk about. And some of them get the message, some of them don't, you know what I'm saying? But, we try to gravitate towards the one to use their platform for more positive, things. Sia Bella was asking, are we going to be interviewing at the BET Awards? Definitely will be interviewing at the BET, awards, without a doubt.
We will not be doing media for BET. We are independent outlet. Yeah. We are separate and all that, but we will 100% be doing media out there. That's what we're going out there for. Got a nice couple of relationships out there, so we plan on doing that, networking and doing what we do. Stan the Man Underdig. You asked me about your hat. I'm a piece of shit for that. I'm gonna get you your hat.
Oh man,
still free of charge. I'm bad at that, man. I need an assistant because that kind of shit, when it comes to mailing and doing stuff, I can just honestly admit that I'm not good at it. But I got you, my brother. I promise you, you got a hat on me for free. That's 100%, man. But
that's what's up.
Yeah, man. It is the young boys just got to move better.
Yeah. So on this quick recap, man, NBA YoungBoy was pretty much violated his probation for being involved in Miami shooting. We were rapping about that real quick. Now, the other thing that happened was Lord Jamar. He came out, we talked about that yesterday. He put a video out, not a video. He was actually doing an interview on, I think it was called Rapmatic, and he went in on Eminem and whatnot. But 50 Cent, as I pull this up real quick, responded to Lord Jamar, and y'all can see it on the screen if people will be watching this later. He put, Lord Jamar, you better sit your ass down. I thought you died already, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. You ain't Grand Pumbaa anyway. I'm going to need a bum ass nigga in one of my shows. I'll be reaching out shortly. He puts his picture up there with clout chasing. So essentially coming to the defense of, Eminem.
Which we knew.
Always, you know what I'm saying? Yep. And whatnot. But we talked about it, and we pretty much agreed that Eminem may have been overrated. And a lot of things that Lord Jamar said was true. We didn't agree fully with him. But what do you think, though, Sam, man, about 50 Cent? You know what I mean? Essentially G-checking Lord Jamar in his own words.
Well, we knew yesterday, and we came when we were talking about what Lord Jamar said and who would come to his aid, because he said that real niggas don't listen to Eminem. And 50 Cent, I said 50 Cent was going to vouch for that game, vouch for that. They said he was the most dangerous in the game. I also reflected back to a time when Eminem was hot, because there was a time when he had his little run and he was dope. And a lot of real niggas fucked with Eminem.
About 15 years ago.
Right. And I'm going to reflect on that, because then we had the conversation of whether or not he deserved to be in the top 10 based off of his whole consistent body of work. And where does he fit? Is he overrated? Is he underrated? And things like that. And I think that brought on a great conversation.
I like my truth uncensored. My whole network viral. 12 and a half get you a quarterback. I got them shits flying like spirals. I like my truth uncensored. My whole network viral. 12 and a half get you a quarterback. I got them shits flying like spirals. You're now tuned into the greatest. Motherfucker, you ain't never lie. If them people watching us like YouTube, then tell them motherfuckers